Sweet. So that's what we want to see. Just Campers from Villawood in New South Wales sent me up this. Obviously I paid for it. I wanted to get temperature and oil pressure, which is just like when you're flying a plane, pretty critical for an air-cooled motor, or sorry, air-cooled engine rather. So there's a dual pole sender from VDO. Apparently if you let it, or a high idle can give you a red idiot light, as it's called on the VW Beetle, which is a 2.5 psi sign of low oil pressure, which is sort of an indicator you want to stop your car if you're about to explode because there's not enough oil pressure. So the switch that's stock is 2.5 psi, whereas unfortunately the lower limit on this, I believe, is slightly less than a bar. So 14.5 psi to the bar, and I think it's like 10 psi or less will bring up the red light. So if you're just at idle, the red light could come up. So as a result, they didn't have it in stock, but a place that does dune buggies in the States has hooked me up with a T-junction that has the same thread here, but it has two female 10mm sockets and a 10mm that goes into the crankcase. So you can run both this, which is overkill. I didn't really need the 2-pole one, and I can also use the stock oil pressure switch that comes with the Beetle. I ordered a spare one just in case I wreck one. They're only $12 parts, which are cool. And this little guy, so this is, I didn't want to, well, there's two options for temperature sensors. There's one that goes down the bottom of the crankcase in the oil sump. They're sold out everywhere and have been told it's not the greatest place to have them. These are not as durable. Well, you know, you're not going to bottom out and scratch the ones that they have on the bottom of the sump. But this goes into the oil dipstick hole and stays secure, and then obviously you've got your prong that goes that connects to your power and goes along the side of your Beetle body into the front, where you hook it up into your switches, into your fuse box. So that's something to come. Cool that it all arrived at this stage, and I'm still waiting for the bit to take out of your dash to the right of the steering wheel on the right hand drive Beetle, and it has 3 gauges there where I'm going to put oil pressure, oil temperature, and cylinder head temperature, which is, unfortunately, VDO don't make them anymore, so I got one from Odometer, an American company making cool looking dials, and I got a voltage meter from them as well to keep it sort of like 2 and 2. It's about as much as I care. I'm more interested in the data than I am on anything else. So that's just another video update. That's the basics of what I'm going to be doing, just to get some feedback of my stock 1500cc engine before any modifications take place, folks. Just driving it, see how it handles, see about, you know, the king and link pin in the front end, seeing if that needs some more either some shims or some bushings put in place to keep it a little bit more stable before totally overhauling it. I just wanted to drive nicely as well. The other thing that I did, because the steering wheel is really big, is I got a steering wheel boss and a smaller Momo steering wheel, which I always liked in Beetles. They go really well, give me enough room so I'm not sitting there like that dude in The Simpsons with my knees above the steering wheel, and have a little bit more space after I put my short throw shifter in. With the shifter as it is in the stock Beetle plus the big steering wheel, it's like, I feel like I'm, you know, in the corner getting beaten up in a boxing bout. So I've got a few basic modifications to do to make it very pleasant to drive. Like, you know, it's only 40 horsepower, folks, but you can only go 60 k's an hour for most of Townsville, or up to 80, and who cares? I don't like driving fast. I just like it being fun, enjoyable. Anyway, stay tuned.